And we are back, ready to go. This is match number 2 here, day 2 of stage 2. It's the Call of Duty World League Global Pro League, $700,000 up for grabs. And to lock yourselves into the $500,000 playoff, you have to finish top 2 in your 4-team group. I'm Chris Puckett, joined by Merc, Momo, and TP. Fellas, we just saw LG reclaim their spot, or I just solidify it, I guess, at the very top here in our red group. That number 2 spot, though, that's what's really on the line this week. And if we look at the remaining teams, MindFreak, Fnatic, EG, pretty even across the board. And I think it's a bit surprising for a lot of people out there to see EG coming into day 2 at the very bottom of the list, 0-2 so far, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this was the other North American team. They just had a great showing at Anaheim, where I believe they finished 5th, 6th. I mean, they didn't beat some of the best teams, but they were in the winner's bracket. They were able to beat E6. Coming off that roster change, people thought these guys are getting better and better, but day number 1, very similar to their stage 1, day 1 performance, where just abysmal, honestly, just not a very good start for them.
I saw a stat. Evil Geniuses so far is 0-6 in respawns, but they've been perfect in search and destroy. They're 2-0 in both of their search games so far. Momo, what has it been about search and destroy for Evil Geniuses? Why are they finding success?
I mean, you know, their S&Ds, it hasn't been 6-0s and 6-1, so the game against Fnatic was around 11 that they kind of clutched up on. I really feel like they've kind of just taken it round by round. S&D, they've got some very singularly very good S&D players on that team, but S&D wins championships, a kind of famous quote. You've got to be good at respawn, and I think that's where they've really been a bit lackluster, and I think they've been really, really flat coming into this. I just hope for their sake that they've, I don't know, whatever they've done yesterday, we talked about watching VODs or whatever it may be, they need to come in with some hype. I'm looking at Nameless to kind of bring that and get fired up here in game 1, because they need that respawn under their belt, confidence.
Speaking of Nameless, I was talking to him just before we kicked this off, and I said, Nameless, how do we feel about the match? What are you guys doing differently today? He said, I'm worrying about myself. I'm focusing on myself here on day number 2. He's not happy with his stats. And a guy that we highlighted in the pre-show, TP, is Parasite. You said this is your player to watch, and Momo, you agreed.
Yeah.
On day number 2, if EG's going to have success, this is the guy who needs to step up his game.
This whole roster change that went down, Study for Parasite, Study was getting, you know, those 0.7s, 0.8s. Well, we're seeing that again. That's why you haven't won one of these respawns. The S&D's always been good with these guys. It's been their crutch whenever they've made these, you know, top 8 runs throughout the year. They need to get more consistent in these hard points. Talking on the side of MindFreak, though, this is the perfect situation for them. Fnatic just got that loss. This is their chance to take some of these respawns against a weak-looking EG team. But, you know, talking about sort of the strength for EG, Nameless, he really turned it around in stage 1, was possibly one of the best players we had in groups on day 2 and day 3 of the group back then. Could he do it again? I guess it's possible, but it's just really hard to perform like that at this top level.
As they say in Europe, he was wheeling on day 2 and day 3. Always cooking or on fire. Nameless, a player to watch. We'll keep our eyes on him. I'm just told, though, we have to look at our search and destroy leaderboard. Here's a look at where EG stands after our first day of competition. We should remind you, this is the very last game in the initial round robin. As we take a look at this list, my favorite player throughout all S&Ds, I think in the last 2 titles, has been Nagafen. And I told you guys, coming into the first match, watch him drop double digits for the loss. He dropped the double digits and they pulled out the round 11 win. Joe, what has this man been doing in particular?
He just plays his game. He has such a unique style with the sniper rifle, and one of the biggest things is, especially search and destroy in this game, it's just 4-man pushes. And what Nagafen's able to do is he's able to open up the map. He gets that first pick. That allows them to have a 4v3 situation. Even with a pistol, they group up together, and that man advantage, that's just the difference maker. So Nagafen, he plays comfortable, and when he's able to do that, he's hitting those snipes. And again, his teammates have confidence in him. But the problem to me is Nagafen and Havoc, it's sort of like the opposite in respawn. Those two, they really need to step it up on the other side. When they play well, EG does great in respawn.
Havoc, surprising to see him at number 2. He's definitely fixed his search problems that we saw back at Anaheim and a little bit in stage number 1. But let's talk about the team on the other side of the stage. They're coming in right now with the number 2 seed out of our 4 groups. MindFreak, I guess they're the 4th seed technically, but they're number 2 on our list. With the big win over Fnatic yesterday, I think that shocked everyone as they jumped up the leaderboard. How different is this squad looking after adding Dens? I know none of us really got a chance to watch too much of them in Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim for me was a big kind of disappointment for MindFreak, and the APAC region just in general. This is their time to shine. This is where they make a statement. They've had more time to scrim. They've been in Atlanta kind of boot camping. They need to come in here, and so far, day 1, it was a success. Day 2, this is their day to make their mark. They play EG, then they play Fnatic back-to-back. If they win this series, they should go in hot against Fnatic. This is their time, you know? You've got to turn up right now.
This is your chance to shine, and one guy we're going to keep our eyes on is the player Joe highlighted from day 1 as one of the stars. Let's talk about Fida. For anyone who missed the pre-show, what did you see from this player in particular?
He's fast, man. He's going to be running that ERAD. He's the first guy to go in for MindFreak. He makes Den's Buzzo's job easier, and that's the biggest thing is Fida, again, they dropped Excite. They brought Den's on. That's a change in their style of play. So Fida, he has to take that, or that sort of change. He has to play quick now with ERAD, with shocks, and he's just been doing exceptionally well. Obviously, they lost that game versus EG, but all those games were close. A huge win over Fnatic puts them at 1-1.
It's the power of the nose ring. There is a look at Fida, and we got a chance to talk with him as well as a number of players from both MindFreak and EG. Here's their thoughts on this matchup.
MindFreak is obviously the best Australian team. I know that they have the potential to do good, so we're definitely not going to underestimate them. We just got to go into every single series thinking we got to win this series and we got to take as many maps as we possibly can without dropping as many maps as we can.
So what impressed me about Evil Geniuses at MLG Anaheim is the fact that I guess people doubt them and they just come out firing.
If you look at their win ratio percentage, it was nearly all about 50%, so they win the important games. So that's something we've got to look out for in terms of, you know, they still play with confidence and they clutch up when it matters.
We know that they just play really fast pace, and for the most part, we struggle against fast paced teams, but we struggle against fast paced teams that have a lot of structure like LG. MindFreak doesn't have the exact same teamwork and structure as LG, so it's a lot easier to beat them than playing like a fast paced structured team like Luminosity.
I feel like we have the better players, but it just comes down to the chemistry. So obviously they've made a roster change. We've made a roster change, just depends on who gels quicker.
If you were to seed our pool, we're obviously the second seeded team and they're the last seeded team, so I think we'll take them 2-0.
It's going to be a close series. I believe if we prepare well enough in Search and Destroy, we can edge them out. Possible 2 wins, if not 1 out of the few days.
MindFreak, Evil Geniuses, the final battle in our first set of round-robin matches. We'll do this all one more time, but here as we see match number 6. Guys, I need your predictions. 15 seconds, starting with you, TP.
EG tends to trend upward later on in tournaments. EG 3-1.
3-1.
I'm going to go MindFreak 3-1.
I'm going MindFreak game 5.
MindFreak, TP's going with EG. So far, Momo leads the crew here at the desk, but it sounds like the game is ready to get underway. Let's send it over to our casters. We got Maven with the great courage.
Thank you, gentlemen. Amazing stuff as always. You are great.
He's too nice to me, that Christopher Puckett. I'm loving some of the little stat breakdowns we're seeing, the analyst picks on who really needs to step up.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way of conveying just how poor of a day 1 we saw from Parasite. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know about you.
No, I wasn't, but there is a bit of a silver lining in the sense that you don't get your quote-unquote easy day till day 3 for EG, right? You play LG yesterday, you play LG today. This is a must-win. You have to split today. You have got to beat MindFreak, otherwise you're basically out of it, right? But you look forward to day 3 thinking, we can get a split, we can go 2-0 tomorrow, we can clutch up like we did in stage 1. But back, you know, what you're saying about Parasite, yeah, he needs to be consistent. They replaced Study because he would post numbers similar to that. It doesn't help you when he's coming in, and basically it's a mirror. Like if you took Study stats from stage 1, they're gonna look awfully similar to Parasite from day 1.
And one thing you brought up immediately, Maven, which I didn't even realize, you said how, you know, we were talking before the matches started today, that immediately Parasite got on social media after that loss, started tweeting. There was also Nagafen who did the same thing. That's the downside of this EG team. You didn't see that too much from Study when he was on the lineup. We'll see if they can bounce back today. It's MindFreak and EG starting things off on Retaliation Hardpoint.
Well, here we go. It's Naga inside. Teammates looking over him as they're starting to rack up some time early in this one. Some nice shots over the top to at least back down a player from MindFreak. But, you know, with the Parasite thing too, I think, you know, he talked in that video about sometimes having to step back. He reads a lot of criticism, whether it's social media or Reddit. You got to think he was getting blown up kind of last night, even from the analysis desk, because he had a rough day. How does he rebound from that?
Oh, exactly. Well, right now it's a 1-on-1 start from him. Nagafen doing a fantastic job of staying alive inside this hard point. I do believe, though, His days are numbered as a pinch is coming in. It's Buzzo just behind. Nagafen still skates away with his life. Should be traded on out here. So EG's 33 to basically 0 start. We'll see a little bit of the scrap time going to MindFreak. Parasite, though, will be the first player on rotation.
Yeah, he's set up here, but they need to get somebody to win a gunfight there at that top of terrace that'll be down looking over this lower street. Right now, it's going to be controlled by MindFreak. Sure, you're going to get some time here for EG, but will the collapse eventually come in? It's a nice opening kill inside a bedroom for Parasite.
Yeah, and Parasite knows how important bedroom control is. His job, just stay alive there, make sure his teammate cannot be collapsed on. Havoc watching his steps as well as Platt. Unfortunately, I don't think, he didn't see Fight getting that close angle. A little bit of an off timing for him there, so MindFreak actually have control of the hard point. Meanwhile, it's EG all around this hill. Yeah, you had that, and then you had Dens, who was controlling the Platt, and he's rotated into bedroom, but you've got complete cover right now, and you have the spawn set up for the next hard point. So this is a nice little stretch from MindFreak, a good job breaking in, and they keep control here as Shox was going big for his side. With 15 seconds left, we'll see if they end up splitting this time or not, but regardless, you're set up nicely as we get out of here. Yeah, and one thing we have to make sure everyone at home realizes, we talked about this just before we went live too, is this might be today's most important match, right? You look at a series like this, if EG wins it, then MindFreak, Fnatic, and EG will all be sitting at 1 and 2. And then you got to think, it comes down to map counts, head-to-heads, all sorts of crazy things. The storylines heading into our second round of round robins would be fantastic if that wound up happening.
Well, let's see what FIDA can do here on market. Pressure continuing to come from steps. Just about finishes off Parasite, but he will lose it. Nagafen and company now pushing through market, trying to get control. The early lead for EG has all but evaporated at this point. Now contested into hardpoint. Nice job from Naga, trying to snap on a second. Almost gets it done, but he survives long enough, gets some shots in that his teammates are there to effectively trade. And now control will shift over to EG. Nice break.
Yeah, and this is great for EG. They're going to get these 20 seconds, and they're already putting pressure towards the new hill. If they can get close enough, and if this player, if Havoc loses this gunfight, MindFreak spawns will be, look, you just saw on the minimap, Buzzo just spawned back market. They're now nowhere near. Fight is looking at the complete wrong area. EG have body still here. Nice headshot from Nameless. But unfortunately, Havoc is still in the last hard point, so it's going to be a race towards this new hill. Will Havoc get there in time for the pinch? We'll have to see.
He absolutely will. This actually worked out perfectly. That was flawless from EG. The push, the flip of the spawns, and control on the next hard point, that was brilliant stuff. The question is, can they maintain control? Is their lead quickly grew? I was just talking about MindFreak getting back into it. You're right up to a 50-point advantage again.
Yep, and it's because Havoc stays alive for the entirety of the scrap time. Nagafen nearly gets 3. Should have a quick trade coming in there. Nope, not going to happen. That was actually Shox, who was just behind Buzzo. 105 to 55 the score. Nothing too big standing out. If there's something I have to point out, it's EG doing a better job in slaying so far today. It's what they really struggled in yesterday in the respawns. Right now, 3 of their 4 players positive.
Yeah, they've yet to win a respawn. Could this be the one in which they get it done? And for MindFreak, I feel like you've done just enough to keep it close, right? EG builds a lead, you claw back in it, stay within 20, 30 points. EG builds another lead, you claw back in. Can they continue to do that, or are they eventually going to get over the hump? As we get out of this hard point, it's going to be just over a 20-point advantage as we wrap into Hotel Hallway. And MindFreak trying to do a good job. They're in, but Havoc has just found a 2-piece on the other side.
And FIDA. No, he runs out of ammo!
Oh, Lord.
Havoc turns on him right there with the rest of the bullets in his clip, as EG will secure early hotel control. Beautiful shots from Parasite again with that NV4. He's looking much more comfortable today right now in Hardpoint, Maven, because look at how much less focus he's putting on the objective. Nagafen, as well as Havoc in the hill, letting Parasite sit up where he wants that long-range weapon.
But this is all Havoc for me. He's 16-7 right now. This is a guy that's been knocked for his respawn gameplay. We saw the stats before this. He's been doing brilliant in search and destroy, but he's shredding right now in the hardpoint. 17-7, 3 streak, making it 4. Nobody can gun with him right now. If they get this type of Havoc on a consistent basis, their hardpoint would improve so much.
And look, MindFreak are having to wait for a potential pinch because Havoc is just doing a job of continually rotating to different angles. They had to send 3 players towards Curve to try to stop him. They wind up losing the last 20 seconds of those hill because Havoc is just a nuisance right behind them. Nameless was trying to play sneaky, but it's FIDA who does spot him. So at the end of our first rotation, Maven, again, it's a 40-second lead for EG, but that does not feel safe at all with how MindFreak have kept themselves in this game.
No, and it's not on this map. You saw, what, LG down 150 points, and they claw back and turn it into a game. You always seem to have a fighting chance here, especially when you manage to maintain this close of a game. Shock's doing a nice job inside. He's already about 75% of the way to his camo. He's only 250 off the Trinity rocket as well, and now he's going to use the Scarab here to get a little bit of information on the backside.
MindFreak, they're going to take the lead in this hard point, I think. EG have one final push. And I don't think they have no clue Shox is playing close here. Should have a free kill. There it is. Second player inside curve. Nameless can't challenge this. Yeah, MindFreak will get a full, flawless 60 on top bridge. So rare to see. It was actually Fnatic who did it in that first time around against LG earlier. This time, it's all started by great coverage from Dens. Only 1 kill on that streak, but his NV4 let Shox stay alive in that hard point.
And think about the flip of fortune there. It was, what, EG outscoring them 33-7 or something like that on the first time on bridge. MindFreak figures it out the second time through and does an excellent job, but the kill feed now lit up all red. EG, they did a good job on lower street the first time through and held spawns for the next rotation. This time, spawning in Graveyard is going to be MindFreak. A lot of pressure going to be coming EG's way.
Parasite keeps playing different angles inside this top bedroom area. Sometimes he plays it more aggressively. Sometimes he falls back to the position we just saw him in there. He's just waiting for someone to sprint into his weapon. For example, right there, gets a little bit too eager with that overzealous, with that peak. Winds up getting punished from that lower street area. Nagafen, though, inside the hill, a 3 streak from him. Why does this always happen with EG, though? Look, Havoc's having a great game. What's up with the Nameless right now? 8 seconds total, 8 and 17. Would you say he's a big reason why this game is even winnable for MindFreak?
Yeah, I mean, Nameless has been the guy, or he was in stage 1, that was the hard carry and respawns when someone needed to drop bombs. Havoc's taken over that role, but Nameless has fell off a bit. I mean, if you get the win, does it matter that much? No. In the end, it won't, but a more consistent effort from all 4 guys, I think, is what they've been knocked for at times, and that's what's kept them from beating some of the elite teams.
My goodness, Havoc, what a game you're having, my friend. 25 and 12, another 4 streak. He might be able to add to it here as MindFreak's about to soar towards this top market area. He has the reactive armor as well. Does he elect to pop it? No, he won't, but it's because his teammates are winning gunfights across the map from him. 210 to 144, the biggest lead of the game now for EG.
Well, Shox at least made things interesting for a little bit there in market, but finally he ends up dropping. And Nameless, he's just in here soaking up time. I know Nagafen's leading the way. He's got over 2 minutes in the hard point, but it's Nameless's turn. Now he's going to have to deal with pressure. Gets the first, tries to snap on the second, can't get another big win.
Don't even
They'll crack through. Yeah, it's 15 seconds left. You get a little bit of time, but it's good stuff from EG.
So what you're going to see now from EG is because they've rotated here earlier, they've gotten these far out spawns, they're going to push out these lanes a little bit. You've got Havoc playing all the way up near Plat. He's covering all the middle map, can easily rotate to wherever he needs to help. Parasite just called out 3 on bridge. What does Havoc do? At least push towards that area. Unfortunately, loses that gunfight. EG now within 15 seconds of winning this game.
Yeah, the big thing, you know, they weren't pushed up far enough that he got one favorable spawn on the back. You see that #1 on the minimap. He spawns the whole way across. So does the second player to stop from EG. That's going to be a nice break from MindFreak with 40 seconds left. A perfect hold here gets them right back in the game. They'll be trailing by 40 or so points, but they cannot give up anything here.
This is a carbon copy of the LG Fnatic game, right? If EG can get 1 break, a few seconds on this hill, Hotel Hallway is so darn tough to hold for the full 60 that you gotta think EG can close it out before they get to bridge where these streaks can come into play.
Wow, well, EG had a 4-on-3 there for a moment, but Fida and crew hold on. Fida's now fully streaked out. It's 8 in a row. He's going massive, and if they can hold on, in Hotel, like you said, it's a mirror match. You had streaks for LG if you got the bridge. The question is, can MindFreak get the bridge? If they do, you've got a lot of utility to work with. It's just whether or not they can get there. Somebody's got to get into at least contest right now, because you're going to give up a lot of points here inside Hotel.
Yeah, again, when you've given up this much score, every second matters towards the end. 245 to 195. Shox is at least there. At this point, you've got to use the camo, in my opinion. You've got to get towards this hard point. Thankfully, at least does trade out 1. They will hold on for a few more seconds, but look at these red arrows beginning to storm in. We're about to see a 4-on-4 gunfight.
You had a perfect hold at bridge last time you were through. You just need to get there if you can. The camo does come in. That was Shox around the backside. Can he find the kills? Reactive pop from Havoc. He doesn't kill anyone. It's a massacre inside. It all goes the way of MindFreak. And do they have the edge if they get the bridge?
Swap to Fida. Look what Fida has. Bombardment, Trinity Rocket. This is absolutely possible, but they cannot rotate early. They need to keep almost everybody here. 247 to 220. Challenge now coming in for EG. 2 more players there. Havoc in the hard point.
Get in, you gotta get in.
The hill. If you're Buzzo, he's got a player flanking behind. Havoc's gonna get the kill with the beatdown. No, the game's not over. EG there, though. Oh my God, 250 to 221. Havoc goes huge as EG finally win their first respawn game.
And like you said,
look at this.
That was playing out so similar to the last Retal we saw. It's like if you had another 10 seconds for MindFreak to work with, the streaks come into play. Same for LG. Another 10 seconds to work with, they maybe can take it.
You can actually hear right there in that last bit of that kill cam, the bombardment about to be called in. But because they got that 249 scoreline. They literally did not have a second to give up. A completely different game if it's, 240 to 220, right? It makes all the difference there.
Well, that was the story of the game. EG would push out to a lead. MindFreak would claw back a little bit. They just never got over the hump. They never really took the lead in the game where they were able to get into control. Ends up biting them in the end. We'll see if this plays out similar to last series, though. Fnatic takes the game 1, LG rolls in the next 3. We'll see now. Can MindFreak answer back?
And now EG, they've won their respawn. They're 2-0 already in Search and Destroy this weekend. They've got to keep that momentum going now. This is a perfect time where EG can begin to turn things around just like they did back in stage 1 in their group when they start off 0-2 on day 1. This is how it all begins.
And a big part of changing this is Parasite. We know there's been changes on both sides. In case you missed the video yesterday, we sat down with EG to talk about Parasite as an addition to this team. Let's take a look.
Feedback from the Reddit and all the fans and just people that have supported EG in general have been really good.
Our team vibes are actually better with Parasite on our team, surprisingly. Well, I've teamed with Parasite once before in Complexity for Champs in Black Ops 3. Surprisingly, what other people think is not always true. He's a good teammate. He doesn't argue that much.
I was going through some rough times with depression and kind of anxiety. It was due to a sickness, but anyways, I kind of got over that sickness. I got better, and so my depression, anxiety went away. And I kind of got back to that mental state that I used to be in, where I was motivated and dedicated to Call of Duty and stuff like that. I've just been putting in a ton of work. It's been good. It's been going up since then.
People always think that Chris is just going to come in and ruin a team, but in reality, he's not that hot-headed as people seem. It's just people always see the very end of it where it's already boiled to. Chris as a player brings more structure to the team than we had before, and that's one thing that we were really lacking.
Yeah, he starts arguing and stuff like that, but I kind of know how to deal with it. And I don't know if he's changed 100%, but still you just get older, you get mature, and you realize it's what's the point? I think that he has changed a little bit since then, and it's been working well since. So.
Whenever I need to take a break, I kind of just play other games on my PC and stuff like that. It kind of helps me just release and kind of just get away from that super scrutinous environment.
Parasite's a world champion, although it's a few years back. He's just got that know-how to win. He's got the drive and the desire to do so. He knows how to lead a team, and he sort of fills the roles that maybe Study wasn't doing so well. So he brings quite a lot, but then when things are going bad, I also think he brings some negativity, which if he can just tone that down within this team, then they'll carry on getting better and better.
He knows the game in and out. He's won a Call of Duty championship. He knows how to teach the game. Obviously, he gets a lot of flack for his attitude and things like that, but he is right most of the time. His just portrayal of how to tell people he's right is a little off.
In stage 1, we saw EG rebound after a rough day 1. Can Parasite help them do the same here? They need him, man. He's a big part of the winning recipe if these guys can figure it out.
Listen, he's a competitor. All he wants to do is win. It's simple as that. It's never been questioned. It's always just been brought up. It's how he portrays, what he says, what he thinks about the team, what happens after a loss. If he could figure that out, he would be a force to be reckoned with, just like he was back when he won the Call of Duty World Championship a few years back. Either way, MindFreak, we talk about series that they must clutch up and win if they want to get top 2. They've been on the verge so many times, and they just always seem to fall just short. This is an example here of not only a winnable series, but an opportunity to put themselves in a great spot at 2-1. It would drop EG down to 0-3.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of becomes a two-team race at that point.
It's almost frustrating because, right, we know the talent on this team. There's a reason they rebuilt. Some of these guys got 5th and 6th at Call of Duty championships in the past. They are top caliber players. But as of late, they just can't seem to get over that little hump. As you mentioned, it happened right there in Game 1. We'll see if they can turn around and hand EG their first S&D loss of the weekend here in Game 2.
Okay, we'll take a look through the classes on MindFreak, but Havoc, the superstar alongside Nagafin there in the Game 1. Can they keep it going here? We know how often he can hit this. Doesn't look like anybody wants to challenge it off the break.
No, and that's what we were talking about a little bit yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
we were.
You know Nagafin is going to do that exact route every single time. I love this play from MindFreak. Don't even go there. Give up middle map. Play for a quick B plant. It's going to pay off perfectly with the first blood as well.
And Nagafin's going to be by himself in the back. I mean, look at his map positioning compared to everybody else. He just has to stay alive in this scenario until they can work some kind of collapse. He's just not going to apply a ton of pressure. I take it back. I forget about his trigger finger sometimes. The best pistol currently in competitive Call of Duty, and you see why there.
I think he's the best pistol user in the history of competitive Call of Duty with just how accurate he can be with that trigger finger. 18 seconds left, though. EG, you've got to make something happen here as MindFreak just have to defend this site a little bit longer, but there's that play I'm talking about. Parasite with the NV4. They've got to hop on the bomb. Do they watch the correct area? Havoc is there, but unfortunately, Parasite already weak. Quickly gets cleaned up. MindFreak with the round win.
That's what an early plant does, right? Yep. Just puts the time and the pressure on the opposition. Nice play from Parasite, but you need it to happen, you know, a few seconds earlier if you really have a chance in that, or guess, like you said, the angle that they're going to be pushing from. Unfortunately, the guess comes in wrong in the first round. Going to go to MindFreak. Now, that's where they've been perfect, though. EG is perfect in Search and Destroy. Yes. This is when they have to win. You can't get your first hardpoint victory and then lose your first search.
And don't get me wrong either. From what we've seen from MindFreak so far this weekend, early on in S&D maps, they've done a great job of knowing what to expect from their opponent and adapting and taking control of the open site. It's as the game goes on, where the teams that they're facing begin to get control of how they like to play. They figure out exactly where their holes are in the setup and begin to kind of abuse them there. We're down to a 2-on-2. Buzzo and Fida up against Nameless and Nagafen.
Buzzo ends up being brilliant bait there, but Nagafen, the reliable sniper, taking off the head of Fida. It's going to be a 1 versus 1. The push is coming, and he is dropped. And that's where, I mean, yeah, his pistol is magical, but not even given a chance there.
That's one of those where it doesn't really matter what weapon he has in that scenario. Oh, yeah. I thought he got God timing here on Buzzo. Okay, yeah. I thought he was just beneath Buzzo to where he wasn't even going to be seen, but thankfully for him, he does clean him on up. So 2-0 MindFreak lead. This has happened multiple times though this weekend so far. We'll see if EG can claw back into things here.
Round 3 underway. Dins had a couple of nice kills there in round 2. He's leading at 3-1.
Nobody challenging middle. Again, what do EG do with this information? They now know they have full mid control, and look at how spread out MindFreak are. Look, mid control, Fida gets caught off guard. It's Nagaman with the kill. Havoc knows the second player's close. Buzzo nearly is able to do the dirty to Havoc there, but it will be a 3v2 now because EG wind up taking mid because MindFreak give it up.
You still have a chance here, though. You're getting bomb planted. You're going to apply the pressure then onto EG. You still have Dins and Shocks, your 2 most talented players currently up. Shocks gets a call out. I believe that one's at Grandma's. Maybe heard something. He peeks the edge, does get vision. Dins turns into a 2v2 quickly. They just need to trade effectively here. Another gunfight goes the way of Shocks. They're looking to clutch up in the 2 versus 3. Havoc, the lone man from EG.
And this was extremely poorly played from the side of Evil Geniuses. I mean, you wind up spreading out across the entire map. MindFreak stay together to where they can trade. It's Havoc all by himself. Unfortunately, doesn't check the right side. If only he knew where this player was. MindFreak now up 3-0, and that's an extremely winnable round for EG Maven. But they send Havoc on the long route through blue, who would have had no trade opportunity. They send Nameless waiting at Grandma's, who basically gets spotted multiple times, and Dens plays it perfectly until he gets help. And then Nameless, or I believe Parasite, was the last one to charge on in. He was all by himself, no trades anywhere.
Think about the rounds yesterday where EG
Same
had
thing
advantage.
on this map.
Yeah, where they had advantage and they throw away rounds. What's your #1 rule if you have a 3-2 edge, a 2-1, 4-3, whatever it is? Stick together and trade the kill. That's literally all you have to do. At least make somebody choke shots or something. Give yourself the chance. I would say the repeat there. I'm a little bit shocked, but Dins can't connect. Thankfully for him, his teammates destroying mid-map.
Yeah, EG just look lost right now on this map. Parasite at least tries to make this a possible round for them to win. Down to a 2v3. Nameless though about to be challenged from so many different areas. Parasite's got his help. 1 versus 1. Parasite and Shocks, the last 2 alive.
Parasite, we saw clutch a huge one-on-one at Anaheim. Can he do it here? He's tagged from behind. What the hell was that?
That was the fastest kill I've ever seen in the history of Call of Duty.
Did he take fall damage or something? What was that?
Did he?
Shocks just got put in a pot and fried. You don't fry in pots, do you?
No. That's boiled, actually.
Well, he got boiled.
That shows how much cooking you do.
If you count ramen noodles cooking or ordering something on Seamless, I'm your guy.
Folks, he's 32. Now, as we get back into the game, it's 4v4. Parasite just got blessed by the COD gods with the fastest kill I've ever seen. And also gets a quick assist there on the fight and make it a 3v3.
Yeah, it's like he had the ERAD attachment on his NV4. What was that? He's got the confidence now. He is shooting lasers. Shocks now, an opportunity to clutch. He did spot one over the top. Can't snap in time, and Parasite going off for his team.
And this is where you talk about confidence with a player right there. This is what TP brought up, right? Yes, did he get some, did it feel like his NV4 shot God shots in that round before? Yes. But look at how Parasite just played that. keeping the challenges going. He knew he was hitting his shots. He's flying forward. He's basically waiting for his teammate to watch over him. Once he gets that help, it's time to engage. EG now back within 1 round.
Wow. Parasite just suddenly turned this game 2 on its head. It looked to be getting completely out of control. Some clutch plays, the difference. You see Nagafin, he hits the top on the other side. This side he peeks it. You saw Buzzo has been checking that with an AR. They're getting aggressive on him. Why not? You know he's sniping there, flying him with ERADs across mid. I love it from MindFreak.
And again, MindFreak, they just flood middle map with submachine guns. And who's flanking? It's been Havoc every single round. Do MindFreak begin to adapt to this and pick up on it? Doesn't appear. So was Havoc to choke the kill.
As good as he was in game 1, I mean, he was so on point with his shots, you can't whiff there. That's a freebie. That puts it into a 3v3 and completely changes the round.
It's one of those things where he's jumping up and down. He's kind of hovering for a second. Why is he doing that? Just stay grounded, hit your shots, man.
One you just absolutely have to get. We'll see if they can still end up clutching here. 35 seconds remaining to try and get the plant down. They've rotated it now over to the B site. The plant should be coming in soon. You can see, I mean, that basically everything else on the map controlled right now by MindFreak as they're spread out across mid, B, and also their spawn. Now, though.
Dens is his payload ready. How are they going to use that to push right on through?
All you have is FTL on the other side. The FTL does come through, tries to get in position. Look at Parasite, was like, what the hell do I do with this? Just has to back down, but he ends up working perfectly as bait. The FTL behind Parasite, you beast!
Parasite on the 7th streak. He's got the trade here on the final. Oh, was much closer than it needed to be, but Parasite, the highlight reel this game, now in double digits. This is the Parasite EG wanted to have yesterday.
He loses that gunfight. We're singing a very different tune.
you stopped being able to speak right there after you didn't even know what to say with that FTL jump.
That was crazy. I like Dinz's to just get in. You saw how it flustered Parasite, but then he's like, whatever you can do, I can do better, buddy. And Parasite, you could say he's the reason they won all 3 of the rounds, without question.
Yep. Parasite, if he sees nobody here, he should wind up calling in the streak. He absolutely should. This is free kills right now. This is so well played. The minute he can, he's going to spot everything and force the hand of MindFreak. They've got barn watched. Players still in the field. Here comes a streak. MindFreak are going to push right into the ARs of EG. This is an easy round. An easy round. Parasite now at 12-3. It's Buzzo all by himself. Oh, Parasite's padding the stats now, folks.
Wow, triple positive right now.
What did I say about MindFreak, Maven? This keeps happening. They have, it's like they planned for the first 3 rounds where they meticulously looked at the gameplay of the teams they're facing, what strategies they like to do, and exploit them and make sure that they can get an early lead. And then once that happens, they're like, you guys want to try strat 1 again? EG right there, have a perfect answer. Okay, you guys want to try middle map? EG wind up giving that up and rotating and letting Havoc flank. There's just always something that as the game goes on, they seem to fall apart.
If he keeps at the pace he has these last couple of rounds, Parasite, I mean, he might be dropping 18. This has been incredible. He's got a lot of work to do yet again, considering the opening pick comes through for Dens with the snipe.
This is what they've needed finally. They start to put some attention towards Havoc, who keeps flanking. Havoc, thankfully, will get out with his life, so it'll keep it a 3v4. And now because of that, Parasite's got an extremely open lane. They've got to get this objective down.
He's just playing sneaky on the rafters, worrying about anyone that might have pushed through from the opposite site. But as it gets planted now, let's see how they play this out. You still have the Trinity rocket to work with if needed.
Havoc's dead.
Havoc's just looking mid. He just gets away perfect timing as a crowd. Well, nobody actually ended up hitting mid, so he was okay. But with 30 seconds left, MindFreak's got to make a play. They got to go.
If Nagafin Nameless spots something on that site, I'm wondering if Parasite just begins to call on the streaks. Nothing as of yet. First player challenging. It's Spider now down towards this area. Nameless dead, 2 versus 4. MindFreak are soaring forward. Parasite.
He has to stay alive.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. He can wind up hovering this over the site. He's now dead. The bomb is cleared. Will they get there in time? 9, 8, 7. Yes,
I think he got it. I think he got it. Oh! Parasite. Oh, if he called that in, just a split second later. I mean, God, he's doing everything he can, but wow, what a round.
Does not get much closer than that, folks, as that is a streak now gone. Fight it looking for a timing advantage onto EG here. Will it pay off?
It sure does. 2 in front. Oh, it leads to a team kill. So he at least kind of gets a little bit of information for his team, but Buzzo immediately gets pushed out. Parasite now has 15 kills.
Just go to him.
Look how absurd the scoreboard is right now.
I don't even care if he's not close to a kill. Just show his perspective. The man deserves it. 15 and 4. And they're only up by 1 round.
That's what I was saying. Like what's the most we've seen? We talk about Krim on Sovereign, 20 kills. We had Nelson dropping 18 in the league last year.
Jesus.
You're looking at one of those types of performances if this goes to around 11. And it's great, you know, the lead into this, the pressure on Parasite, dealing with criticism from the struggles yesterday. Well, he's taking control here in game 2.
Nagafen swapping off the sniper, which I think is the right decision here for EG. Dens will be pushing towards the sidewalk side, just misses the shot. As Evil Geniuses are flying through 16 and 4, tags up a second player. Does he see the player to his left? He keeps getting out with his life, Maven.
And how crucial is it in a game where trading so important? Havoc is going to call him reactive armor. He lines up one. This should be the final kill coming through in just a moment. 6-4 EG on the back of an all-star performance from Parasite.
What ridiculous numbers we see there. A bit different from, I believe, the .7 he had yesterday. I think 16 or 15 kills at the end of that game. And now EG, not only do they go up 2-0, but Maven, they remain, well, undefeated in Search and Destroy.
They do. And we talk about it a lot. S&D wins championships if you're able to at least take a respawn. Guess what? They did that in game 1. Now a 2-0 advantage. The question is, can MindFreak make this a series in the Uplink?
If there's a game mode they're going to do it, it's in Uplink, right, for EG. The question, though, that remains for me is, can MindFreak get the reverse sweep? Can they win a respawn against Evil Geniuses now in game 4? I absolutely think so. I think this is still very possible. But then you think, EG now 3-0 in S&D. They've looked very solid. They've got different strategies to bring out. Nagafen always a threat with that sniper. We saw it yesterday. Today, if Parasite continues playing this way, we might see a 2-0 EG.
Just like day 1. Just like stage 1, you see a slow start from EG. They bounce back in day 2. Can they close it out in the Uplink? We'll find out after this break.
Your G Fuel key player matchup for Game 3 is between Dens and Nameless. This is obviously from day one. Nameless, whilst Uplink KD was there, the scores weren't, and that was a big story for EG as they lost both Uplinks yesterday in their first 2 series. MindFreak, if they want the reverse sweep to happen, though, they need to kick things off right here. Dens needs to pick up that slang and continue to put big numbers on the board in the objective department. We've already seen multiple players from EG step up today in Havoc in Game 1, as well as Parasite in Game 2. We'll see if Nameless can now do it here at Uplink. This has been your G Fuel key player matchup. Why don't we have hero shots like that?
I'd look good. Give me some music.
That's what I'd look like in mine. I'd be ready to go.
I look dumb. All right, so we are going to hop into the uplink. EG now, yes, they lost both their uplinks, but let's think about yesterday. They lose kind of last second by 1 score to Fnatic. They go to overtime against LG. So, yeah, maybe not one of their best game modes, but they took teams to the brink yesterday. And with how they're rolling over Fnatic, I mean, I personally, or sorry, rolling over MindFreak, I personally feel like this is looking like a 3-0.
Yeah, I think the big thing, too, they got through that Game 1 where they had 3 players going off, and Nameless, who was kind of lagging behind. If you remember, he was 8 and 17. Then you go into Game 2. It's Parasite who dropped 16 kills in the S&D. Now in Uplink, if they get a well-rounded team effort, not only is this big for EG because it could be a series win, but a sweep with map count and head-to-heads going on this weekend. This is exactly what they need. If EG win this match, Fnatic, MindFreak, and EG will all be 1 and 2. At the end of our first round of matches.
EG is such an interesting team for me. I just feel like series to series, they have such a low floor and such a high ceiling. Specifically with the high ceiling, I mean, when you can be very good in search, like they're starting to look like, you saw Parasite go off, you know Nagafin and Havoc can be S&D specialists.
Yep.
When you can be that good, you can take series off just about anyone. It's going to be interesting to see when we get forward to playoffs that they make it, and towards COD champs. It's like a team that they've been consistent all year, when's that deep run going to come? And what game will it be on the back of? But and they're fun to watch, buddy.
Most certainly. As we head into Uplink, though, remember this is just the first week of Stage 2 of the CWL Global Pro League presented by PS4. Next week, what? FaZe comes into town with their new 4th and Gunless. I think a lot of people are excited about. You were saying that weeks 3 and 4 are absolutely bonkers. Any team could win that.
I think this week is without question the easiest to call, at least for the #1 spot. We know 2 through 4 are interesting, but I can say with confidence for weeks 3 and 4, literally any of those teams could come out top 2. That's how I feel about it.
You've got me all hot and bothered, just like this Uplink does as well with Parasite, who just dropped 16 kills in S&D. Looking to match that performance here in Uplink. His job right now, watch the flank. Unfortunately, he has been spotted. Thankfully, though, for EG fans, still able to get the kill.
Well, Parasite just tries to get that drone for make sure they're not able to push as Nameless just gets dropped as Shox hits some nice shots over the top. We'll be on Fida's POV for a moment. We'll swap over to Shox, who's going to be holding here at mid-map, just kind of protecting that drone area. So far, nobody really able to strike first or get forward.
Where we saw some success for MindFreak in that S&D was when they brought out the aggression with the E-Rads, got up close and personal with EG. Frost obviously mapped it in the past of, wow, beautiful shots of Nagafin there on the Dens. But back to the point I was bringing up, we've actually seen 4 E-Rads brought out from teams at times. That is not normally the meta, but when you want to play fast-paced, it's definitely the weapon to have. First scoring opportunity here for EG connects as they go up 1-0.
Surprise! Still on the map was Parasite, but unfortunately his head ends up ripped off, but not until they get that first score through. Who do you give the edge here? I mean, when you talk about the E-Rad play and how crucial it's going to be, Shox, I mean, think back to Stage 1, his E-Rad was one of the best. It was insane what he was able to do.
Yep.
Does he have what it takes to match with the the likes of Nameless, Havoc, and Nagafin, who all have him out right now?
I think he does. I absolutely think he does. Right now he's 5 and 3. It just comes down to positioning, like right there. Back on up right away. Look for a better angle. There's his better angle. One nearly the second on the Nagafin, but either way, get some help he needs. I want to see MindFreak bring this drone, though, in towards the ship area of the map. I want to see them exploit that side, go for the easy ones, have straight up one lane to push through. EG having all the time in the world to rotate back to their bases. They're ready for this push.
They're able to find the kills as Nagafin with that E-Rad. You saw that, kind of cross mid shots he was able to hit. He keeps shooting like that all game long. He's going to do magical stuff across this game 3. But so far, MindFreak, that's really the first push we've seen from them that gets thwarted.
Yeah, and what I love right there from EG is typically you'll see teams stay underneath their portal, wait for the throw, and go for the interception. Nagafin and crew, because they were coming back from that middle lane and not rotating back from ship, decided to just go ahead and fly right at them. Before Dens could even get a throw off, before there's even an opportunity for an interception, they just stopped the throw and right at his feet.
Well, they're actually a little bit different. Sorry, Havoc, I thought I saw with Erad for a moment, but he's actually running a K-bar with Parasite. So they actually have 2 K-bars right now. Nagafin and Nameless are going to be your Erad users. Are you a little bit surprised there? You know, considering we usually see 3 for the most part.
No, I don't think it's too bad right now, especially with how MindFreak are trying to play this, bringing the drone towards Cliff. This is a map where you simply have to be able to adjust. We even saw Octane rock the Erad a little bit when they played this map just before. It just comes down to where the action's going down. They get 3 dead. There's the dunk. EG now up by 2 possessions.
Right after I say that, Parasite swaps to an Erad and gets a 3-piece. So
yeah, it's simple as that. If there's Erads everywhere, you can just pick one up too. But when it's time to get aggressive, you grab that weapon. Havoc's winning gunfights from range. They send Nagafin in towards research. He'll be the main guy trying to clear the way. It just makes sense.
Well, drone is down in research as they're trying to find a couple of kills to push on through. It's a stacked defense from MindFreak. They're a little bit nervous. They know the entire map currently controlled by EG. They're just trying to find a kill to slow this down. Fida able to do it. It might stop the progression, at least here for a moment. Havoc trying to answer back. Drone still with EG. There's a couple of kills coming through. This might be an opportunity to get points. Drone into Parasite's hands. Trying to wrap the edge. Can't get the toss off. Is anybody else there? No. Good clear at home from MindFreak.
And if you're watching at home, you think about interceptions. We always mention Uplink. That was beautifully played by Fida, because watch what he does. He immediately starts to engage Parasite, who has a drone, but instead of trusting that he'll kill him before the throw can go, he immediately starts floating towards that portal so he can block whatever is done with the drone by Parasite. If he tries to drop it and, you know, go for the kill, not going to happen. Fida's already shooting him. If he tries to go for the 1, not going to happen because Fida's already there for the interception. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Good base defense to keep this a 2-possession game.
Well, now we're basically getting back to mid-map as each team feeling each other out. EG still enjoying a healthy lead here through the first half, but it's been I guess you could say a slower half for Frost, at least lower scoring in that regard.
Well, it's because how many times we've seen the drone get pushed through ship?
Yeah.
Once, and that one time was EG getting 3-4 dead and getting a score. Nice 1-point play by Nagafin there. He's been extremely selfless so far this map by being the lead guy, making sure he's always shot at first, targeted, letting his teammates kind of slay out behind him. Nameless playing the late flank. They still have an opportunity. This actually should be a score.
Absolutely. It gets tossed forward. It's just a little bit behind him. Can he get there in time for the 1-point toss? The interception is there. They're able to stop it with 1 tick left. We'll head into our second half. Good stuff from EG, though.
And I talked about it again. You saw Fida do it. They do the same thing there. Buzzo, the second he starts to shoot, starts flying in the air. If you're trying to be a better uplink player, that is how you play base defense. It will be 4 points at the half, but I will say EG commanded that side with relative ease.
We'll see what happens on the swap, though. I mean, how many times do we see games begin to go back and forth? It was actually yesterday, EG over Fnatic. I think they had a 3-4-0 lead through the first half. They swapped sides, and then Fnatic just starts going at them early in the second half.
I think EG only do better inside, too. We'll see how it plays out. Parasite with this Erad is going to be the player pushing towards Cliff, unfortunately not expecting the lower wall run. MindFreak are just trading kills in the middle. Now they've got a chance for a push. Nameless is trying to relieve some pressure. Not going to happen there. MindFreak with the drone.
And that's what you need from Shock. 17-11 on a 3 streak. Getting up in their face, already in control of research. You might have early points here for MindFreak if they continue the push going. But Parasite gets 1 kill on the defensive end. Nagafin, he's got to be one of the most annoying to get in those one-on-one gunfights. You're trying to push through a door. You don't know where he's going to be. Holding the close corner 30 feet in the air. But somehow Buzzo in this push still alive. They're wrapping through. Do they get greedy? They do. Don't go for the 1-point toss, and Havoc and Nameless able to hold it off.
How many times now have we seen someone from EG shoot multiple players in the back? We saw Nameless get the 2-piece right here in this ice tunnel as he flanked towards Bulldozer at the end of side 1. There, Havoc does it again, wrapping through ice in towards research to shoot the players in the back as they go for the score. Honestly, EG right now, just off solid base defense, have kept this, you know, a scoreless game for MindFreak.
And this is big, too, for EG, for just the overall series, because, you know, you saw MindFreak get the 3-0 yesterday. When you're talking about map count, a 3-0 here would be absolutely crucial, as they're a team that hasn't been able to take, you know, more than a map off of Luminosity. They do have the edge there, at least, over MindFreak, but a 3-0 further cements that advantage big time.
This is what I've wanted for MindFreak this entire game. Move the drone in towards ship. They'll get their first point because of it. Just give yourself a chance where you don't even need full base control. Just get a 1 in. Now Den's still alive. EG will have to worry about him as they go for this drone in middle map.
Well, let's see if he's able to get in behind and make any kind of play. He just wraps straight back. He doesn't want to have any kind of counterattack. You can see his game plan was just beelining back to help if needed, but his teammate's able to win the gunfight coming off of spawn. Fida keeps that rhythm going. He just picked up 3 in a row. Finally does end up dropping. The streak's still alive and well for Dens as well.
He's still trying to remain sneaky. Unfortunately, not expecting Nameless to be underneath that portal. The interception as well from EG. Keep it a 3-point game. You've got to be so frustrated if you're MindFreak. You're staying in this with Slang as well. They are not being outslayed by too much. Now with Parasite having overdrive, this should be a pass play and a dunk. No! Shox is there.
It's a good defensive hold. Is it enough, though? Nagafin still pressuring. Can they eliminate him, or can he pick up both kills? No, it's Fida on the defensive end yet again as he's gotten back towards even. You're still in this game if you're MindFreak. All your payloads are going to start coming through. You see those yellow bars starting to light up for the MindFreak side. That's going to be the difference here over the last 2.5 minutes, Jack.
It's still absolutely possible for the comeback. But not when Havoc shooting like that. He's continuing his incredible Game 1 performance.
Poor Buzzo.
27-18, now looking for his first point of the game.
Yeah, not much he can do. Tries to get in through Cryo. There's 2 people right outside the window that'll stop that push. But Nameless, again, getting into sneaky spots, hitting nice flanks, doing a good job disrupting any kind of, kind of 4-person attacks from MindFreak.
Fida snuck through here with the drone. He's got a lead blocker. He's got overdrive, too. If he gets a suit piece. No, Nameless is there again.
Nameless just continues to make plays. He's still staying alive. Cuts down Dens as well. Actually, Parasite gets there to help him. But this is what's going to be crucial. In a low-scoring game like this, it is all payloads down the wire. Shox does have camo. Drone did just reset. If he got there a couple seconds earlier, maybe able to make a play with camo. But he'll end up getting cut down. EG, your biggest thing, you just need to take him off the map, and now it's going to be a melee and an overdrive for Fida. There's nobody there for the interception. He's got to try and get it away. Was that high? It was high! You can't miss that when it's a 4-1 game. Think about it. They got greedy on the one push where they don't try to get a toss away. You missed that one high. What, the overdrive throw him off there?
TP just walked off the analyst desk watching that one. That would have made it a 1-possession game.
And you have camo.
Where your team has camo. Now EG pushing forward, looking for the dagger here. At least the one goes in, and now MindFreak have the tall task of getting not only 4 points, Maven, but they've yet to dunk in this game, and they need 2 in just 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the difference here. 1-possession game versus a 2-possession game is everything with 40 seconds remaining. The defense yet again holds strong. It's the duo of Nagafin and Havoc disrupting everything on the offense for MindFreak, and with 30 seconds remaining and drone is in their hand, they should be able to close this out with ease.
Everyone from EG stepping it up this series, improving from their rough 0-2 start yesterday. They will get a series victory. It will be a 3-0, and now we've got 3 teams tied at 1-2 at the end of our first round of round robin.
Can we talk about Havoc and the respawns? Game 1, destroys. Here, 33-23. This is like a mirror of what we saw in stage 1, too. Just struggle day 1, turn it on day 2. Havoc, this time it's his turn. Last time it was Nameless, now it is the young guy Havoc.
This has been EG all year. It's like they need to put pressure on themselves. They need to feel threatened, like their backs are against the wall, and then they're like, okay, now we'll play our game.
And I think that might be the single biggest thing. If this team is gonna crack past the top 8, past the top 6, they need Havoc in a big way in respawns. I know it's one series. I'm not saying maybe you're going to get that performance all the time, but that was incredible. And he's a guy that we knocked a little bit yesterday, whether it was the communication we heard in the comms, whether it was a team kill he had on Nagafin at an important stretch in a hard point. Yeah. God, man, he comes back. He pissed off because that was incredible in the response, man.
Ridiculous stuff right there for EG. They bounced back, and now what? Their map count was overall 2-6 yesterday without winning a single respawn. They're now a perfect 3-0 in S&D this weekend. That's great for them to have. They also have turned it around in respawn game modes. They've got everyone clicking. Don't sleep on this matchup later tonight against LG, especially with how flat LG looked in some of their maps earlier on versus Fnatic.
That's true. I mean, they lost the game 1. They go to round 11 in search. LG definitely didn't look dominant. And it's funny, I talked about the fact that Octane was under the weather. He was feeling better.
Yep.
I saw him after that series. He's not feeling better. So actually, maybe that makes things a little bit interesting, more interesting as well. But we do have Nagafin on stage with Mr. X.
Thanks, Maeve. Here with Nagafin, and I know you guys, you looked pretty bad yesterday. You come into this series, you 3-0 MindFreak. I got to ask, what has changed with you guys from yesterday to today? A lot like stage 1.
I just really believe we don't like Fridays because I honestly can't tell you why we don't play well on Fridays.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, you guys come out really slow yesterday. You come into the series against MindFreak. Is there anything you guys changed in your gameplay from yesterday to today?
Well, we switched specialists, and Nameless is actually running an ERAD now, so we switched up a little bit. But for the most part, we just had a talk last night of what we needed to do.
And now you guys, with that win, you kind of get back right into this group. You're right into contention. You play Luminosity later in the day. Obviously, very Slay-heavy team. Is there anything you guys got to change up going into that matchup, or just kind of play your own game, get Nameless, kick on with the ARs?
I think we just have to play our own game, and we just really have to run a respawn. If we run a respawn, I'm confident we'll win both searches.
Well, it's NagaFen and EG. They have won their first game of the day. Let's go to Puckett on the desk to hear their thoughts.
Thank you so much, Mr. X. That's right, EG, they get a win, and they get it in style against MindFreak. Let's take it from the top here. Game number 1, boys. Walk me through Retaliation, Hardpoint. Havoc for me. That's the name I heard from Maven and Courage over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, he was the difference maker in this game. Nobody really else. I mean, they all played decently well, but on the other side, MindFreak as a team, I felt played better. The difference maker was just Havoc. He was making so many clutch plays. He was just like plus 10 throughout the entire game, so did a great job on that Retaliation Hardpoint. And that's what you need. You just need one of those players to step up, win that game 1. That's exactly what we saw at stage 1. As soon as they want to respawn, as soon as somebody step up, it was Nameless last stage, they just completely changed their game.
EG, starting to heat up a little bit, and I wanted to speak about Retaliation in particular. So we saw LG slow start, Fnatic super hot start on this map. Now after watching all 4 teams playing this back-to-back, who is the best retail Hardpoint team?
It's really tough to call. This map's been really close both times. The difference makers, though, bring up Havoc, especially on the hotel hallway. I think his roaming, the way he roams around both sides of curve, were just so beautiful there. You saw him in that position where he's able to pick up those kills, and he gets the kills outside of that hotel. And I feel like that allows you to get so much easy time on that hardpoint in specific. And then to critique MindFreak's gameplay a bit, I think the rotation from Cathedral over towards Broken, so that 3rd to 4th hardpoint rotation, they kept challenging, and I see teams do that a lot. The later seconds of Cathedral, why are you challenging hardpoint time? You die, and you spawn up with the old hardpoint spawns instead of the new. So it spawns you out, it gives the other team setup, so EG was able to get a solid amount of time on Broken before a contest attempt even comes in. Just a few things I feel like went into EG's favor for them to close this one out.
Very nice job by MindFreak. Even though they pick up the loss, it was a pretty even spread. Over on the other side for EG, there were some star players. You see one of them, NagaFen, over 2 minutes of hill time, but is Havoc dropping the kills around the map. 250, 221, you see the difference. It was at Broken, as TP highlighted. Also the street, pretty good hold there from Evil Geniuses. Let's talk about the next map, though, as we go into Search and Destroy here, boys. And this one, well, it was the Parasite show, dropping double digits, and almost it looked like he was on pace for a 20 bomb.
Yeah, I mean, to kick things off, MindFreak, they came out after a loss on Hardpoint. They came out 3-0 straight away in the Search and Destroy. We were like, okay, maybe this is almost a bit ironic that they win the first Hardpoint, then they lose the first Search and Destroy. But this is where kind of EG, they kind of got on a roll. I say EG, Parasite just started to get kill after kill, make sure he was staying alive at the end of rounds, kind of building that streak as well. And then it was the streaks that came in. This was a very unfortunate round for them to actually lose and it tie 4-4. We saw it go down to almost half a second here. But at this point, Parasite is dropping 14 kills. Map 1, Havoc going off, Parasite going off map 2. And for me, I actually really enjoy the fact it's not all just on Nameless. I just feel like when I hear EG, it's Nameless, EG, Nameless. It's good to see other players kind of coming into it as well and taking a bit of responsibility.
Havoc dropping double digits as well. I mean, he was a star in game 1. He carried it into game 2, Joe.
I mean, the big thing for me was MindFreak started off hot, right? They started up 3-0, as you can see, but that round number 4, MindFreak was in a 4v2 situation. That was that ridiculous kill you saw by Parasite. They give that round up in a 4v2. If they don't give up a 4v2 situation, it's 4-0. Parasite doesn't get a hot hand. They probably close out this map number 1. So if you're MindFreak, you just go back and watch that. You're just frustrated because you can't give away those rounds.
I think there's several situations there where EG got several rounds after MindFreak's initial 3 where them trading from MindFreak was non-existent. There are several times where Havoc would do that sort of late flank around Barn. They'd locate him and do nothing to clear him out of that area. So when you find a player so isolated from his team, you can't let him pick up a kill or shoot at people and get out with his life. Parasite was able to do that multiple times as well. If a kill goes down on throwback or really Search and Destroy in general in this game, you have to execute that guy right away. They kept getting out with their lives, and that's why Parasite's able to get so many basically free kills.
So for the people at home that are watching and they're like, this is a problem we have too. There's always a guy in the back and then we end up losing at a final pinch. How do you execute the person that's flanking while still holding strong on the front line?
I think there's several times where I heard MindFreak's communication where they would really excessively call out. I think it was Denz over towards that A side. They would call him out towards Silo, and the rest of the team wouldn't really rotate over to help. So that puts Denz in a situation where he's like, he doesn't want to go out and get first blooded by himself. The rest of his team's not there to help him to really push out that A side. So I think this is grouping up and maybe sending 1-2 players over there to really clear it out and then focus on the round strategy from then on.
Take your time, get the pick, and then push forward.
Yeah, or you can do the other way. You just leave that guy. You know he's over there. Just push the other way. All 4 of you together. There's no reason not to. You know the guy's there. That means there's a numbers advantage on the other side of the map. Just switch it up, but you have to commit to it quickly.
Former pro number 3, Momo, your thoughts on this scenario?
I've got to agree with Merc. I mean, there's obviously different ways of doing it, but I think to point out just almost LG's way of doing it, they just kind of wolfpack. They say, you know, one's on the flank, let's hit. There's only 3 there. We've got 4, let's outnumber them. You know, and you make that first blood, and you then are in a 4v2 up against 2. The numbers game is so important in Search and Destroy, but for me, you either just go for it, as in your 4v3, or you take that flanker out straight away. You've got to rotate and either help. For me, the main thing is be decisive. Don't hesitate, be decisive, and be on the same page, and that's why LG is just so good.
Acknowledging it, but not doing anything about it, that is where you're going to see yourself in trouble. Let's talk Game 3, though. It looked like at the end there were some flashes from MindFreak. Maybe they're going to get a dunk, maybe a 1-point play. It was EG, though. Early lead, and they just held on to it to the very end.
Yeah, I mean, just the slaying power of EG, it just showed all 4 of the players playing extremely well. You heard Nagafin sort of talk about it. Nameless is going to run the ERAD. Really what that means is he's going to put the pressure on the map. He's going to let Havoc and Parasite use those K-bars, use those ARs, and pick up the kills. And you can just see it. Though EG just picks up an early lead, and MindFreak, their attack just in Uplink has been not great at all. I mean, he misses a 1 here. I remember that game versus Fnatic yesterday. Just not a great uplink team. That's definitely a game type they have to work on.
MindFreak has to fix the problems, and I feel like Frost is going to be a consistent issue for this MindFreak squad because you saw Shox back at his best. He was doing great in the first half. Fight had turned up in the second half. They were playing fast, but Buzzu just never seemed to really find his pace as a slower AR player. At the end of this one, it is 6-1 and a hot 3-0 as Evil Geniuses, they are able to steal the number 2 spot. Here's a look at the overall series recap. 250 to 221, a 2-point game there in Search and Destroy, and a 5-point advantage at the end of our Uplink. Havoc coming in, showing off why a lot of people were excited about this guy back in Black Ops 3 and the start of IW. And an update now on your overall group. We've gone through every single match in the initial round robin. Now we're going to rinse and repeat one more time. Luminosity stays perfect, 3-0. They've only dropped 2 maps the entire way. EG with that 3-0 over MindFreak. Not only do they steal the number 2 position, they send MindFreak to the bottom of the leaderboard.
I think that's the crucial thing, and it just kind of makes these next games even more important. Of course, we've got Fnatic and MindFreak coming up next. So that game in particular, it's the last time that these guys are going to face up against each other. You've got to take this. Your fate is in your own hands. You've kind of just got to run with it. And obviously, we saw what happened yesterday with Fnatic and MindFreak. It's really tough. EG versus LG, the only thing that you can kind of think about is that one. Is if EG do lose, they have that day 3 that, you know, they've just got to go all out and take 2 games.
That's what I was going to say. If they lose that game, that puts them at 1-3. One of these 2 teams has to win. They'll be at 2-2. So tomorrow, all the pressure will be on EG. If they don't beat Luminosity tonight, they'll have to win both series. So we'll just have to see and wait who they have to catch up to. This next game is very important.
Stage 2 is going to be so insane, and we're starting off here in our red group with a very tight race for that second position. Here is a look, though, at how you can come and watch all of the action live. Simply head over to mlg.tv/Pro League. Pick up your tickets. They're on sale right now. You can come in Saturday and Sunday, open every single weekend as well as Friday. Get off early. Call out a work sick rather. Come on down, hang out with us in Columbus, Ohio. It has been a fantastic day so far, and we're only 2 matches in. Coming up next, we're gonna see Fnatic taking on MindFreak. It's a rematch from yesterday where MindFreak was able to take out Fnatic with a hot 3-0. Can they do it again? Don't go anywhere. The CWL GPL continues when we return.